Good, bright and beautiful Wednesday to everyone. Welcome to GardenStateWeather.com and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith, and this is the first day of autumn. Autumn arrived at 4:22 this morning. This is the daily video forecast discussion for the first day of autumn, September 23rd, 2015. And of course, the first thing we want to do this morning is give our condolences to the family and friends and just about everybody, basically, who mourns the loss of the Yankees Hall of Famer catcher Yogi Berra, who died here in New Jersey yesterday at the age of 90. And it's a spectacular cobalt blue sky for this first day of autumn 2015. We're generally with clear to partly cloudy skies across the forecast region this morning. Temperatures are ranging anywhere from the upper 40s in the Hudson River Valley area to the low and mid 50s in and around the New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area. We've got temperatures closer to 60 now at LaGuardia. And outside of that in the suburbs, it's generally delightful. We've got very calm winds, or generally out of the north at speeds of less than 10 miles per hour, and comfortable dew points as well. Little fog this morning over the interior valleys, and well, that's all burning off, and it's going to be a spectacular day. Morning surface chart from WeatherOAndOak.com and Digital Atmosphere Software shows our high-pressure ridge right over New York, ridging all the way down the eastern United States here. We do have this disturbance off the Carolina coast. We'll get into that in a moment. This is going to be a little bit of a problem as we get towards the weekend, but we're definitely, for the most part, going to be dry across most of the region. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We'll talk about that in just a moment, but delightful weather will continue over our forecast region. Morning surface satellite review, or visible satellite review, shows mostly clear skies across the entire forecast region. There's a few high clouds here off the coast of southern New Jersey and the Delmarva as well, associated with this disturbance off the Carolina coast. Most of the air is now drying, and the precipitable water content in the atmosphere is 0.50 inches or less. That means the dry sinking air is in place. It's going to be much more, less cloud cover today, and much more sunshine, and definitely warmer temperatures under this domain. We'll do some watches, warnings, and advisories now. For the coastal areas, there's still a high risk of rip currents in effect for the New Jersey beaches. The northeast wind close to 20 miles an hour, along with an easterly swell and wave heights of 4 to 7 feet, will continue to create hazardous conditions along the New Jersey shore at the Delaware beaches into this evening too. High rip current risk in through this evening. And we also have small craft advisories in effect until 6 o'clock this evening for the South Shore and east ends of Long Island and the New Jersey beaches all the way down through the Delmarva regions as well. Northeast winds at 10 to 20 knots, gust up to 30 knots, seas 3 to 6 feet. And on the aviational weather deck for today through Sunday, high pressure remains over the region through Thursday morning. VFR conditions, light northeast winds this morning will increase to around 10 knots by late morning. Moderate confidence continues at sea. Breezes develop during the afternoon, most likely JFK. Mostly clear skies through this evening and early Thursday morning could result in spots of patchy fog, especially the outlying terminals. New York Metro enhanced aviational support, detailed information including hourly TAFs and component forecast. So we're expecting VFR conditions to continue through the period on a north-northeast wind today and tonight. There's a small chance that visibilities could be a little bit reduced in Allentown, Reading, Millville, Atlantic City, with some later fog later tonight or early tomorrow morning. The outlook for tomorrow, VFR conditions expected, northeast winds at around 5 to 10, 10 to 15 south and east of Philly, winds gusting up to 15 to 20 knots, mainly Philly and south. Friday through Sunday, VFR conditions, however, MVFR possible in showers from Philadelphia south and east, as the low off the Carolina coast pushes northward. Northeast winds at around 10 to 15 knots, wind gust up to 15 to 25 knots, with wind gust on Saturday near 30 knots, mainly at Atlantic City and possibly in Millville. That will all be determined by the movement of that low and the tight pressure gradient in place. Right now outside of Newark, it's delightful 58 degrees, dew point 51, humidity 78%. The wind is northeast at 9, mostly cloudy skies, few clouds at 3,000. And jet stream clouds at 20,000. VFR conditions in place. Philadelphia right now 59, dew point 52, humidity 77%. The wind is north and light at 7. Few clouds at 16,000. VFR conditions in place. And the pollen forecast for the next several days into the weekend will be on the medium to low side. Ultraviolet radiational forecast for the next several days into the weekend. The UVI index will be on the moderate side. Surf zone forecast for the New York beaches and Long Island beaches for today. Basically a moderate risk of rip current, so be careful out there. Lightning threat none today. Surf height 3 to 4 feet. Ultraviolet index is moderate. Water temperature 72. Sunny skies. Max temperature around 75. Northeast winds at around 10. And the next high tide at East Rockaway Inlet will be at 4:08 this afternoon. And for the New Jersey beaches and Delaware beaches, sunny skies today. Temperatures will be in the mid-70s. There is a high rip current risk in effect through this evening. Northeast winds at 10 to 15, seas around 4 feet. And UVI index is 6. Rip current risk is high. And the next high tide at Belmar will be at 3:33 this afternoon. Into the tropics we go. We have an area of elongated area of low pressure centered a couple hundred miles south of Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. Continues to produce disorganized showers and a few thunderstorms. The system is still forecasted to move slowly west-southwest and then reach the coast of Georgia and South Carolina in a couple of days, but then development is not expected before the time due to unfavorable upper level winds. And then eventually this thing, by some model guidance, gets caught up and moves northeast away from our area, but still could provide some mixed light precipitation around the southern coastal regions, and particularly the Delmarva region later this weekend. We'll get into that in a moment. Meanwhile, we still have tropical storm Ida meandering over the central Pacific. It's caught up in this ridge off the east coast and upper low off the Canadian Maritime, so it's just spinning around here. Its location at about 20.4 north, 47.2 west, about 1,045 miles east of the northern Leeward Islands. Again, maximum sustained winds are minimal at about 40 miles per hour. The present movement is south, or 180 degrees, at just about 2 miles per hour, and the minimum central pressure is 29.68 inches. Not expected to provide rainfall or any landfall interaction here along the east coast or the island chains as well. Here's our morning surface chart now from the Weather Prediction Center and the forecast charts coming in. We've got a light north to northeast flow across the region. This area of low pressure off the Carolina coast will continue to spin around, retrograde south and west, and then eventually head back out northeast again over the weekend. And where it lies means all the difference between cloud cover and some light rain showers across the coastal regions by later in the weekend, but we'll get into that in a moment. And while we have strong high pressure over us now, strong high pressure in Canada, which will be building back down across the forecast region into the weekend, and that means delightful weather because most of this moisture here with this area of low pressure off the Carolina coast is just going to continue to spin around, provide rain around the coastal regions of the Carolinas down into Georgia, but our area stays dry, high and dry, and near seasonable temperatures too, under this domain of light north to northeast winds. Now the pressure gradient between these two will probably tighten up a little bit so that by the time we get into Friday and Saturday, the winds out of the northeast will become a little bit stronger. This high is pretty strong over Hudson's Bay, Canada, ridging down the east slopes of the eastern United States and the northern mid-Atlantic coast states, and this low retrogrades towards Georgia and stays with a coastal boundary here, coastal front, developing and pushing the rain shield back towards the coast areas of the Carolinas and into Georgia. But for our area, it stays away. Here is the high building over the top of us by Saturday and Sunday. Notice there is a weak trough in this flow here with this frontal boundary, and that could produce some light rain showers that make their way up through the Carolinas into the Virginias and eventually into the Delmarva regions by Sunday night and Monday, and definitely a little bit more cloud cover in this region, but most of the region should have a variable mixture of cloud and sun and near seasonable temperatures. The high continues to build over the forecast region on Sunday and Monday, and then eventually just pushes this entire system to our east. By the time we get into early Tuesday, just high pressure across our forecast region and not going to experience much in the way of any cumulative or appreciable precipitation, and we already know there were about some 8 to 10 inches below normal for the entire year thus far. And the forecast continues with pleasant weather through the early and mid part of next week, with more high pressure building in over the forecast region, keeping us high and dry. 6 to 10 day outlooks made yesterday from the CPC, the Climate Prediction Center, above normal temperatures through October 2nd and below normal precipitation. 8 to 14 day outlooks again made yesterday. Temperature probabilities from September 30th through October 6th above normal and below normal precipitation. So enjoy your first day of fall. We certainly will be doing so here. For everything live, it's GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. Have a spectacular day.